Good evening. Welcome to CT Collectibles. I'm C.
I'm T.
And, well, this used to be 3 up and 3 down, but it's more of a buy or sell now. So one of my favorite baseball podcasts, the ESPN Fantasy Focus Baseball Podcast, recently ended after a couple of, that was 10, 15 years, but the people on there, they were terrific. It was a great show. It was really enjoyable. And one of the things they'd always do is, are you buying this guy? Are you selling this guy? And so I thought we would just kind of keep it going here a little bit in our own way. So we've got a few players that have had really, really good weeks. A couple players that maybe didn't have a very good week. And we're just seeing if what they're doing, is it sustainable? Is it believable? Are we buying or selling what they're doing? Make sense?
Yep.
All right, terrific. And so we'll start off with a couple of the hottest names in baseball. And there's nobody hotter than Mr. Owen Miller, first baseman, a little bit of second base for your Cleveland Guardians, one of the best offensive teams in baseball. I'm sure everybody saw that coming. For the year, he's got a pair of home runs. He's walking about 12% of the time, striking out 15% of the time. A 545 BABIP, 500 average, and a 330 weighted runs created. In terms of weighted runs created, he is your number one player in all of baseball. Isolated power of 464. We know that what he is doing in terms of BABIP average, isolated power, 330 WRC plus, it's not sustainable. But can he hang on to it enough to be, and here's our question for Owen Miller, are we buying or selling that he can finish the year as a top 5 first baseman in the American League?
I don't think so.
Yeah, all right. So we know that those metrics are going to regress to some sort of a mean, right? They're going to come back to earth just a little bit. What I'm seeing in Owen Miller's profile is that he's swinging at a ton of things outside the zone. He's got 37% swing rate on balls outside the zone, which is high. If you're really good, you want 30% or under. But he's making a ton of contact on those balls outside the zone as well. And so we've seen with his batting average and balls in play, he's getting pretty lucky. That's finding a lot of grass. And so what he has going for him is the American League, the best first baseman in the American League. There are not that many of them. Matt Olson is left, so you're down to like Vladdy, Rizzo, Abreu. So he's got that going for him where maybe he could be top 5 AL, but I think there's so many things that are just out of line with what he's doing right now. Swinging at everything, 93% of the time a ball's in the zone he's making contact with. I mean, these are extreme metrics. And this is a player that out through his minor leagues, I mean, he's not showing a ton of power, and he's not showing this type of a profile. So you're selling that he's going to be a top 5 first baseman. Mm-hmm. Tom's selling, and I am also selling that he's going to finish in the top 5 of AL first baseman. I'm with you on that one. All right. Let's move on to another first baseman off to a good start, and this is Ji-Man Choi. Also with a pair of home runs, walking 30% of the time, striking out 20% of the time, 615 BABIP, 455 average, 324 weighted runs created. So he's number 2, right behind Owen Miller in terms of weighted runs created. All right, are we buying or selling that Ji-Man Choi can be a top 5 AL? Run GMC is as I like to call him. Could he be a top 5 AL first baseman?
I think I said buy here.
I think we are buys on this one. Now, in his profile, what we're seeing is he's swinging at very few balls outside of the zone, 12% of balls. He's making excellent contact, and he's been a pretty decent player in the past. He's exhibited an ability to hit kind of in that 280, 290 area, 25 home runs. And with the start that he's had, you can't take that away from him. That is banked. And so, when he's up against some of these other guys that are off to slower starts, he's got a little bit of an advantage. And I think I'm with you on this one that he can be a top 5. Yes, you're buying that he is a top 5. And I am also buying he's a top 5 AL first baseman at the end of the year. So we like what he's doing. It's extreme, but he's proven that he's at least capable of being kind of in that top 5. He's got the skill set to do it. And really, in what he's doing now is just kind of gravy. Whereas Owen Miller, what he's doing is like, no one's ever seen this before, and he's never done it before, and probably less likely to be sustainable. All right.
Isn't that picture from the movie Trading Places?
This is from Trading Places. So these guys are happy because they bought they shorted frozen concentrated orange juice futures, right? And then they bought at a very low level, so they made a ton of money. So they're happy, and that's how I go with it. So then you have Mortimer and the Duke brothers, Randolph and Mortimer. They're all sad because that's how this goes. So
okay,
yeah, if you're selling, you're sad. So all right. Oh, I've got a bonus question for Run GMC. Can he actually fly? He looks like he's ready to take off here.
Yeah.
You're buying it? I'm buying it as well. Okay, all right. Let's move on to Stephen Kwan. The first week of the season, it was really insane. Obviously, these guys are going to come back to earth, but have they done enough? Do they have the internal skill set to finish at a certain level here? So no home runs, walking 20% of the time, striking out a minuscule 5% of the times, 400 BABIP, 385 average. We know that that's not going to last, right? 223 weighted runs created. So he's 7th in weighted runs created rank, okay? What we're looking for is, for the season, are we buying or selling that Stephen Kwan can be a top 20 outfielder? All right. Now, what I like about Stephen Kwan, what do you like about Stephen Kwan?
Never heard of him.
Okay, all right. Sleeper. What I like about Stephen Kwan is, he's kind of that average prospect overall. No power to speak of, but he's got an 80 grade hit tool, right? This is Wander Franco level stuff, right? So he's got 60 grade in the fielding, and it should keep him on the field, but an 80 grade hit tool. So even if the power is not there, this is a player that can profile as a plus 300 hitter. He's not gonna, again, I don't know if he even gets into double digits in home runs, but when you look at the top 20 outfielders overall last year, that 20th that in the projections we're looking at, Kike Hernandez, Harrison Bader type player at that 20th outfielder. After you get to that top 10, it really does drop off. Now there's a couple players that are going to have to creep up into that top 10, but in that top 20, I think a guy that hits low double digit home runs but a 300 average, I kind of like that. I'm buying it. I'm buying him as a top 20 outfielder for the season here. Right now he's like top 2 or 3, which I don't buy. But top 20, yeah, I think so.
Didn't Rod Carew do that? He had a high average, but just not as many home runs.
Correct.
And he still made the Hall of Fame.
Right. Well, if Stephen Kwan can do this for like 17 years, then he's got a shot as well.
Exactly. That's why I'm buying him.
Right. We're just looking for this season. We're not going that deep on him or anything like that. Although he's like 24, 25. It's interesting. But what you need for the Hall of Fame is do this. Rod Carew came up probably like 2021 or something like that and just hit the ground running. That's what a lot of those truly great Hall of Famers did. We're not seeing that a whole lot these days. Maybe there's a paradigm shift in there. But yes, I think I am buying. Yes, you're buying Stephen Kwan as a top 20 outfielder. I am also buying Stephen Kwan as a top 20 outfielder. All right, we're on the same page. I like it. I like what he's doing here. Of course, we know it's not sustainable, but at the end of the day, is he going to be a pretty relevant player? And I think we're thinking yes here. All right, Austin Meadows, no home runs, but walking 13% of the time, striking out 20% of the times. I've talked about Austin Meadows in the past year, so you can get those strikeout, find playing time. Detroit's helping out with that. Can we get those strikeouts down to that 20% level? He could have a really, really good season. This could be darn near elite level player, and this is what we're seeing right now. 556 BABIP, 417 average. We know that's not going to last. 210 weighted runs created, and he's a top 10 player, top 10 bat right now in the league. He's getting his playing time. He's got this elite level profile, and so what we are looking for is, right now he's a top 10 player. So, all right, can he just be a top 10 outfielder for the season? All right. Last year he hit, he was a 220, 230 hitter, but he had 27 home runs. That part plays. Can he maintain that strikeout? Can he be a top 10 outfielder for the year? That's getting a little bit, now you're in like Lubob territory. So that's a little bit, you're asking a little bit more out of him at this point here.
I said that he was going to fall right behind the top 10, like maybe like 15 through 11.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sell him.
Okay, you're selling that as a top 10. Correct. You're selling it just because we can't have the same answer every time. I'm going to buy that he can be right around that top 10. I'm going to put him in that top 10. I'm more likely to agree with you. I think you have a really great assessment on that one. But, just to shake things up a little bit, I'll put Austin Meadows in my top 10 outfielders if he can maintain that 20% strikeout rate. All right. Dylan Cease got himself a mustache here. I like this. Mm-hmm. This was kind of our dark horse Cy Young candidate for the AL. He's got a couple of wins so far. That strikeout to walk rate is darn near, it's above elite, right? So 30 is insane, right? So he's elite, borderline insane. He's a top 10 pitcher in the league with that metric there. 250 BABIP, 80% left on base. The ERA is 169. He's got a 240 xFIP, so getting a tad lucky. There may be some regression, but there's no question. Last year's a top 10 pitcher. Looking for him to repeat again. So the question is, buy or sell? Dylan Cease stars in Bohemian Rhapsody 2. Are you buying or selling?
I thought I said, what did I say?
Buy. I'm buying. Yeah, dead ringer for Freddie Mercury. So yes, we are buying that Dylan Cease stars in Bohemian Rhapsody 2. Looking forward to seeing what he can do with the pipes there. So that's uncanny. All right, all right. Carlos Rodon, this was your boy. We were kind of arguing in our top 5 pitchers. Where do we put him? You argued for top 5. I was like, I'm not so sure. You're right. Right now, you're looking like the smartest person in the world right now. Okay.
I'm big brain.
You're a big brain Tom. So he's got to win. He's got upwards of, he's number one, strikeout to walk, that percentage, 40%. That is Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer level, and he's doing that. What did he do the other day? 13 strikeouts and
12 strikeouts in 5 innings.
12 strikeouts in 5 innings. That's good. All right. 263 BABIP, left on base 80%. Nothing really crazy there. ERA of 1.5 xFIP. So he's pitching, so the BABIP may be getting a little bit lucky here. Still, 2 ERA. Amazing stuff. What are we looking for? Buying or selling Carlos Rodon? We already had him in the top 5. More specifically, you had him in the top 5. NL Cy Young.
We're definitely buying him.
You're buying him for NL Cy Young.
Oh, NL Cy Young? Oh, no.
We got to raise the bar.
Okay.
We already have him as top 5 overall. Now we got to raise the bar on this one. Are we? Is he the NL Cy Young?
I said Burnley's gonna make it. I'm thinking he's right behind Burns.
Right
behind him.
Are we Cy Young or not though? I want to.
Sell.
You're selling it? Okay, all right. Of course we're selling it because if people are paying attention, they would know that we've already picked Corbin Burns. There we go. So yeah, we're selling this NL Cy Young. But gosh, he's right there. He's looking good.
He really is.
He is. All right, a couple of players that maybe not doing so well here. Marcus Semien.
Although he is a good player.
He is a very good player. It's
Normally.
just when you switch teams, maybe there's an adjustment period, and
He
it's
was
only
just in Canada. He got to get used
there's
to
an
the
exchange.
weather.
There's an exchange rate. The weather, yeah, exactly. So not even 10 games. So we're not too concerned yet. But home runs, nothing going on. He's as far as striking out and walking, he's not too far off of his pace here. That BABIP getting extremely unlucky. Weighted runs created is not 9th overall, just 9. His weighted runs created are 9. 100 is like average. He's at 9. So his rank, I mean, it's like dead last. I'm not making fun of him. It's just like, you want me to rank that? That's not good at all. So are we buying or selling Marcus Semien, finishing with a higher wins above replacement than Brandon Lau, who got off to a really good start? He is like 0 for his last 9 or something like that. But we know what Brandon Lau can do, right? This is a guy that's going to hit like 240, 250, put up like 30 plus home runs or something like that, and finish with like, something in the range of, well, let's just look it up here. I think you want to say he's like something in the 4-win territory here. So are we thinking that Marcus Semien can get above that here? So last year, Brandon Lau, 5-win player. The shortened season in 2020, he was roughly a 5-win player as well. Can Marcus Semien get things going and catch and surpass Brandon Lau? We know Marcus Semien the last 2 years, he really changed who he was from the previous couple of years by swinging a little bit harder, putting the ball in the air more, and it was working for him. So
I'm thinking that if he can get his stuff fixed up by mid-May,
okay,
he's probably gonna do better than Brandon Lau.
So you're buying this?
Buying it.
You're buying it. All right. So okay, Tommy is buying that Marcus Semien can finish with a better WAR than Brandon Lau. I am selling that he's going to finish with a higher WAR than Brandon Lau. I think Brandon Lau is a terrific player. We know roughly what we're gonna get out of him if he can maintain that 20% strikeout rate. This is a 5 or 6 win player, and with the start that Semien has, if he doesn't get it going almost immediately, then that could cost him a win. Some of the best players in the league already have a 1 win above replacement. That's a really incredible start. They're not going to keep that pace. But, another week or two of what Semien is doing of this adjustment, then that puts him maybe a little bit too far behind to catch a player of Brandon Lau's quality. All right, we'll wrap it up here with a couple of the young guys here. Bobby Witt Jr., Julio Rodriguez. What do you think?
It doesn't look like they have good stats.
It's not looking too good.
But just like it says on J-Rod, better than Semien.
Yes, his weighted runs created of 11 is better than Semien, I guess, right? Bobby Witt Jr., 26 weighted runs created. Their averages they're struggling right now. They're striking out a ton, right? And so the question that we have, are we buying or selling that these young guys are staying in the majors all season? At no point are they getting sent down.
I'm thinking that they can.
You thinking that they're staying? Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, that is exactly what you said. It's tough to say you're correct because you already told me the answer. So you're correct. This is what you said. It's like dirt, right? I am selling this, right? The reason being is, and this is more specifically to J-Rod, striking out 45% of the time. Unless he can really fix that in the in the immediate future, the Mariners have brought in some pretty high-priced talent. Robbie Ray and
Jared Kelenic.
they didn't bring him in. That was
Robbie
they already had
Ray.
it. Robbie Ray is the big one there. Ty Francis, they're going for it. They like that AL West setup, and they're going to go for it. And they cannot have a guy.
They used to be like the Pirates, and now they're like.
Well, the Pirates just never tried to get better, and the Mariners try, and they had a good run last year, and they saw that, and they're like, let's build on this. So very
Can
Pirates.
we do that?
Pirates. Well, we Carlos Correa. Yeah, so we're trying.
They only got one player. They got like 5.
Right. So we had Buxton. We gave him a big contract. So, anyways, with what they've brought in the way that their roster is constructed, I don't think that they can afford to have someone striking out 45% of the time in a lineup the whole season, or maybe they have to let him go down, beat up on some minor league pitching, and bring him back. Bobby Witt, different situation. I think the Kansas City Royals are like, you know what, just fight through it, do your thing. We know what you got, and we're not doing anything this year. So I think just because of that, J-Rod may have to spend some time in the minors if he doesn't cut that strikeout rate down and get things going just a little bit in the near term.
Okay.
There we go. There's our buy and sell. So appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. All right, Tom's not super excited about doing this every week.
Not true.
So kinda, right. There's going to be weeks he's not going to want to do this, right? So we try and do this on Sundays. So if you would like to do this, our contact information is in the description below. Send an email. I'll send you the buy or sell questions, and you just send me your answers. We'll load it up, or we'll figure out a way to do a video and get you, the viewer, in on the screen if I can figure that part out. But for the immediate future, we'll send you the questions. You can send them back. It's more fun with 2 people. And so if Tom's out, then one of you can maybe perhaps step in his place. But in the meantime, appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.